Hi, this is Megan from Megan Meal Schools, and I am stopping in today to show you how we make our homemade, vegan, high-protein sandwich bread. In this bowl right here, we have 4 cups of whole wheat flour and 4 cups of bread flour. We have yeast right here, which we'll add 2 tablespoons of in just a second. We have some regular iodized salt, some blackstrap molasses, some sunflower seeds and pumpkin seeds, some whole rolled oats, and in our Instant Pot back here we have some cooked chickpeas. So we're going to start by adding our wet ingredients to our BlendTec container. I don't know about your kids. My kids are getting a little bit better now, but for a long time they wouldn't eat anything that had like chunks of stuff in it. And so I got into the habit of blending all of the ingredients from my bread so that they couldn't discern what might be in it. So we've got about 24 ounces of water in there, and we're going to add, sorry it's so dark in here. My kitchen is like a historical exhibit. We're going to add a cup of chickpeas, and I alternate the nuts, the beans, and the nuts and seeds that we add to our bread so that the kids get a variety in their diet over the weeks. We're going to do a half a cup pumpkin seeds, and it's hard to do this with one hand, a half a cup of sunflower seeds. We're going to add, let's pull this out a little bit so that I can actually get in there. We're going to add about 1.5 teaspoons, I would say, of salt, and also sorry, I couldn't get the cap off the molasses. About 2 tablespoons of molasses. This seems like an awful lot of stuff to put into the bread, but it's really just that this makes 2 good-sized big loaves. So I'm going to pause this for a second so that you don't have to listen to the BlendTec making all that noise, and I'll be right back. Okay, so we've got all of our wet ingredients plus our beans and seeds and oats all blended up in the BlendTec. We're going to add about 2 tablespoons of yeast. I'm never going to be able to do this with just one hand, but what we're going to do is pour the wet ingredients into the dry, mix it up really well, put a damp dish towel over it, and stick it in the oven to rise for about 35 or 40 minutes until it just about doubles. Okay, so this is what the dough looks like after it's all been mixed together. I ended up having to add probably another 1/4 cup or so of water. We want it to be a little bit sticky and to work it until it gets a little bit stringy like this and make a great big old giant mess. That's always good too. And then you're just going to cover it loosely with a damp cloth napkin or dish towel or whatever you have around, and then pop it someplace warm for, like I said, about 35 to 40 minutes.
Aren't you going to?
Hi, so I was just going to skip to the finished product, but I thought it might be really useful if I showed you how to form the dough into the loaf. So I have my trusty assistant here doing some filming. And what you're basically going to do is take, this is half the dough, I already did 1/2 of it. You're going to take this dough and sort of fold it over. You're just trying to create some surface tension. So what you want to do is pull the dough around the top tight, down onto the bottom, and give it a little twist so that it stays all together. We're pulling it tight.
Does this thing record?
Giving it a little twist. Can you?
Does this thing record voice?
Yes, so they can hear you now. Can you see the dough? Can you see what we're doing? How we're pulling tight across the top for some surface tension, and then twisting it around at the bottom. Pulling
I love whoever's watching.
Oh, Nula loves you. Twisting it around at the bottom. And then we're just going to take it and plop it into the middle of the parchment paper here. The parchment paper is just because I'm lazy and I don't like to wash the pans. Can you zoom in a little bit? Walk up close to the bread and show a picture of it sitting in there. Up over the top. There it is. And there's the other loaf. And we'll show you again what they look like when we're done. And there we are. 40 minutes of baking later. 2 beautiful loaves of fresh sandwich bread.